In 2015, during Warlords of Draenor, they added time walking into World of Warcraft. A way to go back in time and go do some of the older content that the game used to offer. Some of the old dungeons and eventually some of the raids. And in these you were able to get all new rewards. And for the longest time, I have really wanted them to expand on this. And yeah, over the years we got a couple new raids and we got a couple new dungeons. But that's about it. I wanted something big and something that could be a main focus of the game. But finally, after nearly 10 years of time walking, we're getting like a time walking expansion, it feels like. And I'm of course talking about the new Mists of Pandaria remix event. This thing has been sitting on that WoW 2024 roadmap and everybody was wondering what it was. Honestly, I just thought it was going to be the Mists of Pandaria time walking event, but maybe they'd do all the dungeons and a couple of raids. But this, now looking back, looks like it could be fun. In this event, you make a brand new character and you hop into Pandaria and you level up all over again. You can't hop into this with your retail character. You have to make a new one. And now this thing did drop up on the PTR, and I don't usually like doing PTR stuff, okay? I'll be honest, PTR isn't my thing, or betas aren't usually my thing. I like to wait for the main thing to come out. I like to wait for the expansions, the patches, all that stuff. But since I was making this video anyway, you know, I had to try it out just a little bit. And when I first tried to make my character a Death Knight, it said I couldn't make a Death Knight until I had a level 10 character. So I made a Hunter, but the Hunter started at level 10. So since he was level 10, I can now make a Death Knight. So I made a Death Knight. A Goblin Death Knight, of course, because that's what I usually play. I'm sorry, I'm not actually playing as an orc. This is just a character. And this event started out at the Timeless Isle, and you're with some Infinite Dragon members, and I'm sure there was some sort of story being explained as I was killing these enemies and closing portals, but I didn't want to pay attention to the story because, like I said, this is just the PTR. I want to wait for the main game to come out before I really start paying attention and getting and immersing myself into it. I'm pretty sure I was having this glitch because I saw other people who weren't having this problem, where none of my stuff from retail really carried over to the PTR, and I was a little bit upset at first because I didn't have all my mounts or all my transmogs, but I kind of wish that they would do it like that. It'd be kind of cool if the game came out and everybody was running around in Mists of Pandaria gear using mounts from Mists of Pandaria. It would just fit the vibe of the time walking or whatever. I don't know. I think it would be cool. I know other people want to use their stuff. They want to use their mounts, they want to use their transmogs, but that's just my opinion, okay? And there is also dragon riding in this, which you can do right away. And I saw that there's a lot of people upset about this, and they're like, this isn't Mists of Pandaria at all. Mists of Pandaria had quests that weren't designed around you having flying at the beginning. Well, guess what, guys? Who would have thought this isn't Mists of Pandaria? It's Mists of Pandaria Remix. So that means things are going to be different. And what's different? Oh, dragon riding, something that people think is great. So yeah, we're going to put the great gameplay mechanic in the new thing. And I also think that there's a lot of people who thought going in that this was going to be Mop Classic for some reason. Why would Mop Classic be coming out when Cataclysm isn't even out yet? Why would anybody think that this is Mop Classic? Now, I could understand you being upset if you think that this is supposed to be a replacement for Mop Classic, but to be honest, I don't really care if this is a replacement for Mop Classic because I have no interest in Classic past Wrath of the Lich King, because it's not Classic anymore. But I did keep playing, and for the most part, it was just Mists of Pandaria questing. I'm sure there's going to be more quests, and I'm sure there's going to be newer quests added in that gives some kind of bigger story of why we're time traveling or something, I don't know. But like I said, again, it's PTR. I don't want to immerse myself into the story or none of that yet, but I did notice some new things while leveling. All the old world drops were pretty much removed, and every single quest didn't give the old gear, it gave these loot boxes. And the new drops from enemies out in the world were actually semi-useful things like consumables. There was one-time use hearthstones to nearby inns. There was items to summon party members even if you're not a warlock. There was actually some good stuff and not just junk that you're selling at the vendor. And the loot that you do get that you don't want, you don't have to throw it away for gold either, because you can scrap it for this new thing called bronze, which is the new main currency. And because there's no auction house, gold is essentially useless. So all you want is bronze. And to be honest, I don't know how I feel about this. I do know an auction house and an economy is kind of an important part to an MMO, but you know, this is something different, so I'm willing to try new things. Just like how SOD didn't have GDKPs for the new phase, you know, maybe this will be just something a little bit different, and I'm willing to try it out just to see how it is. I'm not saying it's going to be a good thing that there's no auction house, but the new currency bronze is used to buy pretty much everything in the game here. I'm talking all the rewards, the mounts, the toys, the transmogs, all the good stuff to upgrade your abilities. And I'm sure there's even more stuff that I don't even know about yet that you can use it for. You can even buy some of the old rare mounts from Mists of Pandaria, like the world drop mounts, some of the raid drop mounts, but they do cost way more than the newer mounts. So if you have the old ones like me, you don't have to spend all that time grinding bronze to buy this stuff. So you saved yourself a lot of time grinding bronze. But if you're not very lucky with the 1% drop chance, this is an alternative so that you can grind and get it. Now, as I was leveling, I did do a few dungeons because, well, you know, dungeons plus questing is probably the way to go. And I could avoid story quests if I hopped in some dungeons. And I did die a couple times in these dungeons, so it's not like they were super duper easy. I mean, it was a little weird because I was level 10 in some of these dungeons and I didn't have any of my main class abilities, so I felt like I was pretty useless. And I didn't even install a damage meter because I didn't want to be embarrassed by low amount of damage because I was level 10 with no abilities. And I did all this until I got up to level 25 and I could do the first raid along the way. Because like Season of Discovery and this Mists of Pandaria remix, there's raids you can do while you level up. Like at level 25, you can do Mogushan Vaults. And I hopped in the first wing of this, and man, I know this is LFR, but the boss died before I could even catch up with the group. Like, I was running to the boss and he was dead before I got to him. But you know, we'll see how it goes on other difficulties. Maybe it'll be different, who knows. I tried to do the second wing of the raid too, but the boss kept despawning every time we tried to attack him, so I kind of gave up there. And that's also where I stopped playing the PTR for now because, you know, I don't want to grind again. All right, I want to wait for it to come out to really grind it. I don't care about playing the PTR when it's not going to matter in a month. But my overall thoughts, okay, this is probably going to be a fun event for me. I think I'm going to play it a little bit. I'm going to grind up to get all the mounts that I need because I'm close to getting the 500 mount achievement in retail, so I need every mount I can get. But I don't hate Mists of Pandaria either, and I'm excited to try to collect some of the other rewards. Like maybe they put the challenge mode sets back in. Now I know they're not doing the original challenge mode sets, but maybe they'll still do the challenge mode dungeons and you can get the recolors. We'll see. I don't know. I'm sure other people have more information than me, so don't get mad at me. I am excited actually to get some of the transmog rewards too, like the Pandaren hat, the chicken backpack, and of course some of the big mounts like the gold astral cloud serpent, the other phoenix mount. I got that one in the PTR. If it's as easy to get in the main game, then that'll be a fun one just to grab real quick. And overall, I think this is supposed to be a fun game mode. You know, I know it's a limited time event. I'm really curious to see how limited of a time event it's going to be. Is this going to be a thing that lasts a couple of months? Just 1 month? There's no way it's just 1 month, right? It's got to be like at least 3. And then to see what they're going to do after this. Because after this, are they going to do a Warlords of Draenor remix? Because that actually could be a lot different, and I would love to see them make tons of changes to Warlords of Draenor to make it fun, you know? And I hope this does well because I would actually like to see this remix thing done with tons of other expansions. And actually, I hope they do some sort of vanilla remix in retail where we go back to the old world. And maybe they'll do that in the next expansion, because I know Chris Metzen said that in World of Warcraft Midnight, or whatever the second expansion that they're doing is, that we're going to have an old world revamp. So maybe we get an old world revamp with some vanilla remix and we do old dungeons and raids in vanilla. I don't know. It could be fun. Anyways, I'm curious to see you guys' comments down below, what you guys think of the Mists of Pandaria remix. If you've been playing the PTR, if you've been waiting, if you're excited, if you don't care. I'm sure there's people that are upset because they want real Mists of Pandaria classic, and I hope you get it if that's what you want, but I don't think that is really classic, and you know, they should probably stop after Cataclysm. But that's just my opinion. If you have your opinion, I respect that. But I'll for sure be making another video about this Mists of Pandaria remix once it actually comes out, because I'll play it a lot, because I'm definitely getting all the mounts and doing all the fun stuff. But anyways, that's all I got to say today. I'm gonna go play some more. I gotta catch up on some Season of Discovery and maybe do some Plunder Storming too. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment Zug Zug if you made it to the end. See ya.